Welcome back to another video. We are picking up exactly where we left off in the last video, where I just dropped the fully built Mazworx sr22vet in my Rx7. And this is a swap that I've already done. But if we go to my old pile of junk back here, this is one of my old engine mounts, and it was originally made for a rear-wheel drive DET, and then I just retrofitted it by drilling that extra bolt to fit on my front-wheel drive block. This one just looks ugly. Like, that's not an attractive motor engine mount, and you can see this is bending a little bit. But the other one was actually cracking, so I needed to replace it. Also, you can see this is, granted this is the other side, but I'm using thicker metal down here on that plate. I'm using the same thickness here, but you can tell that didn't bend. So, I had already made this. When I was building this, the engine slid to the right a little bit, and I wasn't paying attention, so it ended up being like half an inch off from center, which is no good, obviously. And now that it's in position, you can see I'm sitting too high, and I'm also at a little bit of an angle. It's touching down here, and I've got probably 1/8 of an inch up here. But the bolt holes line up, and everything should be fine. So what I want to do is cut it down here, and this will drop down, and then I'll just take this whatever little angle we need out down here. So I'm going to put this in my bandsaw. I'm going to take that off the table and put it down on the ground so all the shavings kind of stay down on the ground. I cut it a little too short, but I'd honestly rather do that so I can get the exact fitment I wanted, because there was a little angle. But had to turn my post flow up, so it's not the prettiest welds, but they will definitely hold. Not too bad though, not too bad at all. So we're going to bolt this one on. That way the engine sits where it's supposed to be. And then I'm going to unbolt the turbo and the manifold, and we'll bolt this guy on, which I had started to make, but thankfully I ran out of gas welding. And thankfully too, because I got to cut this and make it longer. Because like I said, we just took length out of that. We need to put length into that. That way we're centered. Got the engine mount bolted in. I don't have it tight down at the bottom. And we're just going to verify that we have 14.5 center. So from this side we're 14.5. And from this side we're 14.5. So that's perfectly centered now. And you can see it's still tilted a little bit, but not nearly as much as it was. And to verify that we have clearance, I have a piece of aluminum under there, which is 60 thou, which is quite a bit. It shouldn't move more than that. Been cutting for a little bit, and you can see I got a little gap there, but I'm pretty happy with that fitment. And it's tight in here, but there is room. I've moved it a little bit. So I'm gonna bring the my welder over here. I'll take the ground and this lead, and I'll try to weld it in place. That way it stays exact. You can see how close I am to the pan. So I've got 60 thou clearance there, and I had to grind it down more. And then I just barely have enough clearance here. So if I can get a tack here and on the other side, and same with down here and on the other side, I should be able to pull it out and weld it. Drag the welder out. I need to do some spring cleaning for sure, but so I've got it all dragged out. I've got the ground coming in, touching that. The ECU's still in the car, but nothing's hooked up. I got the foot pedal here, so I got a light here, so I'm like stretching, using my right foot and coming in and reaching way down here. But you can see I've got 4 tacks on that top piece, and then I've got 3 pretty good tacks over here. So hopefully it doesn't move, and when I take it off, and I'm going to take it off right now and fully weld it, and then we'll put it back on. Very glad this is coming together pretty fast. Thankfully I did the groundwork. I messed up, but it's okay. It's always okay to go back and redo your work versus living with the fuck up. I could have left it at 1/2 inch this way, but that's not the right way. So now we've got 2 motor mounts, and it will sit perfectly straight. And I don't even think my old ones is sat exactly in the middle, but you can tell if I stand in the middle, that hood prop sits in the middle of that crank. But yeah, pretty happy. Can't wait till the valve cover comes back. Letting it air cool, but there's the other mount. So hopefully that all fits. Got this guy bolted in, and it just barely clears that there. Barely clears there. But it looks like it is still sitting on my power steering rack. So I'll just end up putting a washer in between the mount and the engine solid mount and the bracket on both sides, and that should lift it up. Like we have clearance on this side, but it's pretty much from the middle. Like, let's grab something pretty damn thin, and it slides. I think it slides everywhere but there. Yeah, it even, so it's literally that weld that we're hitting on right now. So, like I said, we'll just have to space up the engine. Okay. I put the washer only on this side because I still thought the angle was a little too drastic. I have a little torpedo level here, and now granted I've put stuff on this, it's not 100%, but you can see we're within the line, you know, about like that. This guy is way over here, and that puts it on the bubble, and you can see how far we are. And honestly, it's riding the left just like this was. So I think that's a good amount of angle. If I need to put it back to the more aggressive angle, all we got to do is put a washer on this side. But take my little instructions for my Healy coils, and we can go in here, and I have clearance in between the mount and the oil pan there. And then I don't have much, but I got tolerance there. And that washer picked up all. So the engine is hanging. I forgot to say at the beginning of the video that I'm reusing my trans mount because there's nothing wrong with it. No cracks, it's super beefy. Basically what I did was I cut, here I'll show you. So any of you SR guys would know this is an SR trans mount. And I literally cut the OEM SR or FC, the Rx7, and I put them there, put a plate under it to box it in, and then I literally just took pieces and MIG welded it in place, and it just sits on the trans. So, but you can see it's sitting up a little bit and it's not touching this side, so we may need that more drastic angle. So I may end up putting a washer on the other side to get that back straight. But those are all little things. Also, the pan isn't all the way bolted up yet. I still need to drill that hole so it goes into the transmission. But the goal of the video was to make engine mounts for the Mazworx sleeve 2.2 liter engine. And we are there. Wish I had some of the wiring out so this would look better. Put that there. Put this up here. There you go. Now you can see it. So, yeah. Pretty tight tolerances everywhere. But the engine mount shouldn't move different than the pan, so we'll be fine. And again, I had to swoop it down this low for the turbo. So, but all right, guys, like I said, we're just going to keep moving. So I don't know if I'll do the turbo or the intercooler. I'll probably do the intercooler first, but you'll have to subscribe and stay tuned for the next video to find out.